right? Like, let's just say the first cold front that you get hit with, because I'm assuming your falls and summers are decent. Like, they're nice. Like, you get.
I love the fall. Yeah, the fall is nice. We get to like, you know, down to like 70 degrees, 68 degrees for us in Nebraska, and 64. We think that's beautiful. Okay, and so the falls are nice. It hit us this year in end of November. We started getting snow, and then in December the cold comes in. We start seeing the -5s, -10s, you know, that kind of shit. And then it just rolled in. We got hammered in January. I don't even know how many inches of snow we've gotten. I've probably got at least 1.5 feet out my front. You know, my front driveway out here. So it's ridiculous. So we've gotten hit hard. Yeah. And you were asking me like my protocols. Normally I'm prepared because I got my generator and, you know, I get that helps out. So if I have eggs in the incubator, anything like that, and my animals are taken care of. But for like emergency purposes, if I have to, I can do what those poor folks in Texas have done. I'd have to put the snakes in snake boxes and take them to some place that's got power to keep them warm. So that's always a contingency if we have to do that.
Now, I mean, is there ever a time where, like, I mean, I'm sure you've had seasons where, like, even your backup didn't go as planned, right? Like, so, I mean, at what point do you need to use your generator? Is when the electricity goes out, right?
Yeah. So my generator kicks on 7 seconds after power is cut to the house, and it kicks on and it powers the entire house. So
it's already kind of like automatically ready for it. You already have that. That is sick. That's crazy.
I put that in. We built the house in 06. We moved in October of 06. I put the generator in. I think it was like the summer of 08. I was like, dude, I got to have this just for all my animals to take care of them, make sure they're good. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, how are your animals doing this year so far? What's going on with them?
You bet. So my animals are doing good. I had a really good season last year. Unfortunately, I still have, like most 90%, I think, of the ball python hobby has them in our house still. Hopefully, I'm going to move away from that. But I have a furnace, and the furnace keeps running. I have a humidifier in my furnace. I have a humidifier in my snake room, and it's been really dry. And so I've been having a hard time with getting the snakes to breed because of it being so dry out in the snake room. It's been kind of a struggle, you know, this year. They probably won't get going until March and April. So I'm going to have another late season again, but I'm just prepared for it. So
now let me ask you this, Brock. I mean, are you able to kind of shift things with your like breeding season? Like if you want them to go later, can you just do things at a later time?
Oh yeah. 100%. Like with the ball python world, if you want, I mean, there's people I know that breed year round. I'm kind of almost breeding year round at this point, which is a lot of work. But yeah, you can basically, it's all when you start introducing to the females. I have an ultrasound, watching the follicular development, all that kind of stuff. So you technically can breed year round now with ball pythons if you want to. A lot of us try to have a season where we breed real heavy in the winter and in the spring, and then we have the clutches start hatching. We have a great falls. That's when the babies are all hatching and all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then where are you at right now with clutches? As far as production wise.
I think I did 65 or 66 here at my place. Nice. And I probably was involved with some of my partners with another 100 clutches or so, or maybe 80 to 100 more clutches. I think I sold 740 ball pythons last year. It was something like that. It was a lot.
740 ball pythons last year, and then I'm assuming those are just 2020 production, or
that was all 2020. Yeah, that was all 2020 production. I think when the numbers were all said and done, I think moved about 740 of them was about right. I think so, right in that range. It was a lot.
Okay. Wow, that's nuts. Now, I mean, let me ask you this. Like you have partners, right? And I feel like with having partners, somebody's better at one thing than the other, right? I feel like that's why partners a ship's a partnership. So yes. Who's the one really pushing the snakes? Like who's the one like, whose platform or I mean, how's that work?
You bet. So a lot of my partners, they do a lot of the production side. Okay. So they produce a lot of animals. That's their department. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses. They're good at producing. What I do and what I specialize in, I'm sales. I love interacting with customers. I love all that. I love making sales. That's my thing. That's my drug. That's what makes me happy. So that's what I do.
Yeah, for real. And honestly, that's, it's not meant for everybody. I think we had a conversation about that when we first talked over the phone that, there's people who like to be way behind the scenes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's people who like to be like kind of like in the middle, right? I feel like you're like in the middle, like you're not, showing your face every goddamn day on a story or anything, but you do post, you let your animals do the talking for you or your guns.
Are my weapons. Yeah, no, 100%. I let the animals do the talking. It's, the world has changed. The social media has changed completely in the ball python industry. I'm old. I was going to tell you, I've been doing this since '03. So we used to have forums. We don't have forums anymore. And even Facebook's kind of dying a little bit as a platform. It's all YouTube now. A lot of it's Instagram, which is fine. And I'm not the most tech savvy person, so I'm still trying to like figure all that stuff out. But yeah, I try to just let my animals do the talking, and I really I think I've told you this before. I don't care for the drama. I don't want any drama. I just want to be me and be happy. That's what I want.
But I mean, to be honest, Brock, like you could totally be like, hey, I'm not drama, but why is it in this fucking industry that drama could still come to you? Like, why? Like what? When you're an innocent person, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to get into things, but like, for instance, like, there's no reason why anyone should tell you not to come on this show. Like, there's no reason for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get involved in anything tonight, obviously. But
no, we don't have to. We don't have to.
Over the years, I mean, I was going to tell you, back in the day, we didn't have anything other than forums. And I was a younger person back then, and we used to, fight it out because the stakes were high. There was all kinds of misinformation and all kinds of shit. And it seems to me sometimes this industry does like to, congregate and like that drama. And I can tell you, between you and me, I've told you this before, I'm over it. I'm too old. I got too much other shit going on. It's not me anymore. So
I mean, you'll even admit that in the stints of you growing in this shit, it was no joke. It was bad. It was cutthroat.
It was very cutthroat. I tell you, people, I think I've told you some stories. The things that have happened in our industry are pretty insane. I've had rodent breeders cut me off. I've had other snake breeders that bought my rodent breeders, said, hey, don't give him any rats. I'm buying all his rats plus ×3 so that way he doesn't get rats. I mean, I've been through all this stuff. I've been through just about anything you can think of. I've been through it. So it's been fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's if it's one thing that I'm able to like pick up off people is their sense of experience with like when people talk, it's a lot of it, if not all of it, comes from experience. They're talking from past experience. And when you have somebody like yourself who's been in this for so long, and like I was saying, a lot of people who have to do who are successful in this industry have to show their face a lot, have to put themselves out there. And you've been established and you've built what you've had, not only way before the social media, but even when social media is, you've been able to keep up with everything. Even like you said, you got to work on how to use certain technology, but I mean, at least you post shit. I mean, knowing how to do small things and being consistent is all that matters. Like that's all you got to do.
100%. And main thing, like with me, is taking care of the customer. Okay, making sure if there's a problem that you take care of it. And always being responsive for them. That's the number. Just doing good business. You know what I mean? Don't do shady stuff. Just, you get them the snake when it's safe to do. Obviously, I've had some customers that have been wanting their snakes and I can't get them to them right now. If I explain like, hey, my weather, I can't do it. But yeah, just taking care of your customer and they'll take care of you. That's the number one thing here. I believe that 100%.
Who do you recall who it was in the beginning of your career? Because okay, hold on. Let me ask you this: how long does this go back for you? This breeding,
I'll kind of give you a little bit of an overview of history. Okay, so I started in 2003. I wrote a business plan up, and I actually got a $15,000 loan from a U.S. bank to go out to California, which I'd never been to California. And I'd never even seen the ocean at that time, to be honest with you. And I went out and I bought a spider ball python, and the spider ended up, like I said, cost me $15,000. And so that's what really got me into ball pythons was that back then. And so then I produced in 2004. I got my first clutch of eggs, and I was able to sell a pair of spiders over to Europe for $9,000. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was hooked. So when I was able to make that money and to then interact with foreign customers and all that stuff, I was dead just wanting it. I was like, this is amazing. And then from there, I transitioned from the spider. I was one of the first people to have lesser ball pythons. I know that their lessers are all over in the market today, but back in the day, lessers were very, very expensive. My first lesser, cost me $33,000. And
how much?
$33,000. So my
my God, that's so tad.
and you're gonna love this. So listen to this, MJ. So I bought a lesser for 33, right? And then I can't remember. I think I made 30 of them or 35 of them in 2000.